And I would like now to move to Sadaf. Can you maybe try this one? Yeah, let's try. Okay, so Sadaf, let me briefly start with this question. Your activism and experience reflects a generation demanding dignity and freedom. What did you personally learn, unfortunately the hard way, about how authoritarian systems and coercive ideologies sustain themselves?
Well, today we stand at a historic turning point. For 47 years, over Iran, there has not merely been a government, but an ideology casting its shadow. An ideology that replaced the will of the people with absolute obedience. It sanctified power and legitimized repression. The Islamic Republic was built on the principle that one individual, in the name of religion, could determine the fate of millions. In this structure, dissident is not a right but a crime. Freedom is not a value but a threat. And the people are always the accused. The problem is a system that weaponized ideology, that made security ideological, and that turned oil revenues into instruments for exporting crisis. At the heart of this system stands the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. Not merely a military force, but the security and ideological backbone of the Islamic Republic. And here we must speak plainly. The relationship between the IRGC and the Muslim Brotherhood is not accidental. This convergence is the product of a shared project, transnational political Islam. The Muslim Brotherhood was built on the idea that religion must govern politics. In Iran, the doctrine of guardianship of the jurists implemented the same logic in Shia framework. Both movements at a strategic level take issue with liberal democracy. Both view secular states as a threat, and both have turned hostility toward Israel into a tool of ideological mobilization. The IRGC's support for Hamas is not a temporary tactic. It is the operational link of a broader regional strategy. And now a question must be asked aloud. 47 years of delay in acting against the IRGC. Has that not been enough? 47 years of patience, 47 years of appeasement, 47 years of false hope for reform from within. How many must die? How many attacks must be injured? How long must the region burn in proxy wars before the Muslim Brotherhood is fully and unequivocally placed on terrorist lists? Thank you. Has the price paid by the Iranian people over these 47 years not been enough for the world? Our internal repression, support for proxy forces, and regional destabilization is still considered negotiable by some governments. This is not only about Iran. This is about regional security. This is about global stability. Today, the confrontation between Iran, the United States, and Israel is the result of years of exporting crisis. This war, the second wave of American and Israeli attacks, is the very pit that Ali Khamenei and his corrupt system pushed us Iranians into. For nearly 37 years, everything in this country was under his control. From the way women and men dress to vaccination policy, from foreign policy to domestic media, from the composition of the government and parliament to the shaping of parties and media outlets, from a vast portion of Iranians' economy to private schools and the structured universities. He turned it all into his personal domain. He destroyed 3 generations. He dragged Iran into ruin. Ali Khamenei is finally gone. But his destructive legacy remains and continues to cost us. And the consequences of his rule remained on the body of a nation for years. 40 years of calling for the destruction of Israel, 40 years of chanting death to America, 40 years of ideological confrontation, 40 years of policies that brought Iran to the edge of direct conflict. And in the end, responses came, each time stronger, each time more destructive. This devastation is a direct legacy of those policies. There is another alarming reality. When a regime chooses to position itself inside the schools, when it uses educational institutions as protective cover, there is only one conclusion. It signals that the regime is willing to risk the lives of the students in order to manipulate the narrative. It sends a message to the world. If a school is struck, it will blame others. It will claim innocence. It will shift responsibility outward. If deliberately placing children at risk for strategic advantage is not a form of terrorism, then what it is? For years, this regime has sacrificed its own people. It has used live ammunition to suppress protesters. It has ordered direct fire at unarmed civilians. Reports of execution-style killings and lethal force, even within medical facilities, reveal a level of cruelty that crosses every moral red line. This regime has shown no mercy even to our children. And yet, in the face of repeated evidence of minors being killed or harmed, the United Nations remained largely silent. When children are victims, silence is not neutrality. Silence is abandonment. The Islamic Republic has never prioritized the lives of its people, not infrastructure, not the economy, not the future. Even today, after Khamenei's death, those who remain continue to repeat the same rhetoric and persist on the same path of confrontation. They have only one objective, their own survival, even at the cost of Iran's destruction. Out there are still Khamenei committed to continuing this path. But the greatest challenge to the Islamic Republic is not external, it is internal, because the people of Iran are no longer afraid. 47 years of repression, 47 years of imprisonment, 47 years of executions, 47 years of mothers humiliated while retrieving the bodies of their children. But the Iranian nation remembers. The Women Life Freedom Movement was not a temporary protest. It was the breaking of the wall of fear, a declaration of a simple principle. Human dignity is not negotiable. And alongside it, the Lion and Sun Revolution became a symbol of returning to our national identity. Today, the Islamic Republic may still possess instruments of repression, but it no longer poses moral legitimacy. It may control the streets, but it cannot control the future. It may shut down the internet, but it cannot erase collective memory. We are the true image of Iran, the Iran of Ferdowsi, the Iran of Cyrus, the Iran of freedom. Today, the Islamic Republic stands under two pressures, external pressure and internal will. But the decisive force is the people. And now, Iran stands in that very moment. We call upon the international community to stand firmly with the people of Iran in their struggle against the destabilizing and repressive actions of the Islamic Republic. We further encourage policymakers to acknowledge Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as a constructive and unifying figure and as a credible representative voice for a substantial segment of the Iranian people seeking a democratic, secular, and accountable future. Let this homeland become homeland again. Let light replace darkness. This is not the end. This is exactly the beginning. So please clap and just stand for the people who have been sacrificed in Iran. Those are more than 60,000 young people who had already dreams, who were like me, but they didn't and couldn't stay against this regime. So please. Thank you.
Sadaf, thank you very much. I know we are at the European Parliament and not in a house of worship, but I will still say it. Amen. Your message to Europe. What should Europe do? We are sitting in the houses of European Parliament. What should Europe do in 1 minute? Thank you very much.
Well, the system is trying to make people feel powerless and isolated. And when society is divided and people are afraid to trust each other, the system becomes stronger. So if the Europe wants to show solidarity, I have to say the meaning of the solidarity these days for my country, Iran. Real solidarity is practical, not only symbolic. It means listening to the voices of the Iranian people, which is directly affected. Solidarity should empower people, not speak over them. And support freedom movements carefully and responsibly. The most important thing is to listen to the credible voices from the Iranian people and diaspora. And European parliaments and universities and other organizations can create safe spaces for dialogue and support academic opportunities for those forced to leave Iran. Thank you.